I once chased someone around the map for 3 minutes straight. And every time I got close to him, he just brawled me back with right click and his sword. So eventually I had to give up because, you know, I was like 3 bars of hunger and I couldn't sprint anymore. So I had like really crappy gear because I wasted all my looting time. Yeah, that was really fun. That was really fair. And no, that's not sarcasm on the last point. It actually was fair. So we've all had our fair share of so-called cowards who you never get to kill because all they do is run away, rod you back, and brawl you when you get close. And you ask yourself, what are you supposed to do about that? You tried your best, you tried everything, and there's no way you can catch up. But think for a second. This person who's running, they have worse gear than you, right? And if you were them, would you be springing for a fight with someone who had better gear than you? No, because guess what? You want to win. So your best option is to run. Yeah, these people get called cowards, they get called noobs, they get told to fight like a man. But I don't know, last I checked, trying to live isn't being a noob. Now, just like cleanup, there are ways to deal with these quote-unquote cowards. They have worse gear than you, right? So why not just wait until deathmatch where they can't run anymore? It's really as simple as that. If they're running, it doesn't mean you're obligated to chase them. Go do better things, do some more looting, find another person to kill. I don't know why you'd be so desperate to kill someone with leather armor and a wood axe when you have full iron. Or if runners bother you so much, maybe you could play a kit that's good for chasing. There's Barbarian. Horseman is even better. If you position a bomber's explosive arrows right, you can force the runner back into you, or you can explosive arrow the ground underneath your feet to propel you into the runner. And don't pretend like you haven't had to run from Fighter 2 either. In your entire survival games history, there's at least a few times where a guy got the supply drop, and maybe you got unlucky with your looting, so you had to run from that one. Fair enough. The sprint key is there for a reason. To run. And everyone has it, so use it as much as you like without shame. This is bringing me to my second main point of the video. If you didn't know, people actually quite regularly complain about Bomber, and I'm not joking. Maybe it's just me, because you know me, I'm way too good at Bomber. But yeah, there are actually people out there saying, the only way you can win is with TNT. You have to rely on your TNT, lol noob. Knight takes more skill than Bomber. Yes, that last one actually did happen twice, I think. And this is tied in with running, because usually I run and then plant TNT where my chaser runs into it before seeing it, and they die and get really pissed off and angry. I have a lot of examples in my other videos too. Now first off, there is this #1 bomber strategy that pisses people off every time. Throwing TNT at your opponent who's in shallow water. It's really hard to avoid. If you're in the water, that is. So, solution? Don't go in the water. Especially if your opponent seems really eager to jump in the water first to bait you. It's like chasing. You are not obligated to go into the water with them. If they're trying to bait you into water TNT, you probably have better gear, which they want, so don't do it. Leave them. Then there's other times. If they're running and they throw TNT to block the path, you can stop chasing. Don't risk your life for a guy who has worse gear than you. Do what you do with runners. Wait until deathmatch where Bomber is incredibly useless. Explosive arrows should be, on average, more effective against you than straight TNT will ever be if you're a good player. Just don't chase. Wait for a time where melee combat is guaranteed, i.e. deathmatch. Very simple strategy. Now, if the Bomber has better gear than you, well, guess what? They're probably not going to be running from you. This is when they're going to melee fight you, and this is the time for your kit to come in handy when theirs isn't. Knight excels in melee combat. So does Brawler. Bomber sucks at it. Use your kit to your advantage now. You might be thinking though, you can't play around every Bomber strategy all game. Sometimes you need to chase people and kill them for fear they might become a major threat later in the game. Yeah, fair enough. Well, there's things you can do to make sure they're not, or they are, a Bomber. 1. Check in chat to see if the player has gotten TNT kills before. If they have, they could be a Bomber, so don't go in the water. 2. If you fought this person and say they use tilt smash on you, guess what? They're not a Bomber. Go in the water and kill them. 3. Play Bomber yourself. When they try and bait you into the water, toss a bomb at them from shore. It's probably the best solution out of these 3, and I've died to that counter technique a few times when I tried to bait people into the water. Now, if you don't want to play Bomber, then that's fair enough too. Use the other 2 strategies. Last point I have to make. People ask why I still rely on TNT when I have better gear than my opponent. Well, if we're near the end of the match and there's only like a few players left, I did some work to get to the end, and I want to win, so I don't want it to go to waste. So this is my time to play as safe as possible. If I can bait my last opponent into easy TNT kills, well, that's the perfect scenario. Because guess what? I don't know about my opponents. How did they get to the end of the game? Maybe they hacked. I don't want to be finding that out when it's too late. Maybe they're playing Knight and their hilt smash will deal half my health and then I can't run because I'm slowed. I don't want to be finding that out when it's too late. Maybe they're a 5,000 win guy with 2 billion elo on bad line, and when we fight, they get a 3,000 billion 100 trillion hit combo on me. I do not want to be finding that out when it's too late. So, TNT is really the safest, best option for me, and I'm trying to win here. So if the TNT doesn't work, then I fight them head on. It's all about trying to win.